Good evening and welcome to the Monday, May 16th, 2022 regular meeting of the Frankfort Village Board. We'll have some electronic participation tonight and a couple things will be a little bit different, but we'll go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, to call the roll, please.
Thank you. Well, in accordance with village ordinance, I received an electronic attendance request from Trustee Petro to participate electronically tonight. Trustee Petro, we can see you on the video call. Will you please state your reason for not being physically present tonight at the board meeting?
I am not in Frankfort due to employment reasons.
Thank you. All right, I will go into calling the roll. Mayor Ogle?
Here.
Trustee Borelli? Here. Trustee Farina? Here. Trustee Ledden? Trustee Petro?
Here.
I did it already. Trustee Rossi?
Here.
Trustee Severia?
Here.
Attorney Mahoney?
Here.
Administrator Pisha?
Here.
And Chief Chalepis? Here. And Clerk Schubert is present. And we do have a physical quorum present tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, Clerk. In order for the participation to take place, we needed a quorum as indicated, and we also need a motion and a second in order to allow this participation. We have a motion by Trustee Savaria, a second by Trustee Rossi, and if there's no discussion or challenge to that, we'll go to our clerk for the vote.
Trustee Farina?
Yes.
Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
Trustee Severia?
Yes.
Trustee Borelli?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Now, if everyone would stand, and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next item on here is what we call the unanimous consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature, and they will be enacted in one single motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. At this point, are there any trustees that would like to remove an item from the consent agenda? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion by Trustee Farina, a second by Trustee Borelli. We will go through each of these items on here so that people that are in the audience, as well as those who might be at home watching on Channel 6 or on the YouTube video or a little later time, understand what it is that your village board is voting on and what we're doing here. So we have a motion and a second, and we will go through and we will go to the Trustee Savaria for the approval of the bills. I'm sorry, actually first, we have the approval of the minutes from the May 2nd meeting. Were there any changes or corrections to those? Okay, hearing none. Trustee Savaria.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bills this month equal $1,610,532.57. This number was comprised of $780,989.08 from the General Corporate Fund, $2,111.46 from the Motor Fuel Tax Fund, $42,541.50 from the Capital Development Fund, $261,576.45 from the Sewer and Water Operations and Maintenance Fund, and finally $523,314.08 from the Sewer and Water Extension Fund. Sorry, kind of phoned it in tonight. That's my report.
All right, thank you. Well, we're going to give you a chance to redeem yourself on this one, and you get the next one in the Committee of the Whole report.
All right. The first item on the Committee of the Whole report is Engineering Service Agreement Industrial User Inventory Resolution. At its May 11th meeting, the Committee of the Whole considered a proposal from Baxter & Woodman Consulting Engineers to perform an industrial user inventory to identify if there are any categorical industrial users or significant industrial users in the village's wastewater treatment plant service area. It was a consensus of the committee to forward a recommendation to the village board to enter an agreement with Baxter and Woodman for professional engineering services for the project. The motion before us is to accept the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole and adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of a professional engineering service agreement with Baxter and Woodman, Inc. to conduct an industrial user inventory to identify any categorical industrial users and significant industrial users in the village's wastewater treatment plant service area in the amount not to exceed $53,000.
Thank you, Trustee Savaria. Next, we'll go to Trustee Rossi with another Committee of the Whole item.
The street sweeper purchase bid approval. The Committee of the Whole reviewed a request from Public Works Superintendent Terry Kestel to purchase a street sweeper that was budgeted for the current fiscal year. Mr. Kestel sought the committee's approval to purchase an Elgin Crosswind 1 regenerative air street sweeper from Standard Equipment Company through the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program in the amount of $355,530. The new street sweeper will allow for more frequent sweeping throughout the village and provide a number of benefits, including improved aesthetics, roadway safety, and environmental quality. Delivery is expected approximately 360 to 450 days after receipt of order. It was the consensus of the committee to forward a recommendation to the village board to approve the purchase of the street sweeper. The motion before us is to accept the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole and adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of a contract with Standard Equipment Company for the purchase of an Elgin Crosswind 1 regenerative air street sweeper in the amount of $355,530.
Thank you, Trustee Rossi. The next item that we have is from the Plan Commission, and we will go to Trustee Farina for that report.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. The item before us is the Frankfort Arts Association Studio C Special Use Permit for Indoor Entertainment at 14 Hickory Street, Unit 14B. Applicant Todd Morgan requests the granting of a special use permit for indoor entertainment for the Frankfort Arts Association Art Gallery with associated art classes and a rentable even space to be named Studio C, located at 14 Hickory Street, Unit 14B, within the H1 Historic District. The Frankfort Arts Association proposes to hold regular art classes in the space, typically Monday through Thursday, and the applicant intends to host private events including bridal and baby showers, typically on Saturdays and Sundays. At the April 28, 2022 public hearing on the project, the Plan Commission forwarded a unanimous recommendation to the Village Board to approve the special use request subject to several conditions. And the motion before us this evening with the conditions are as follows. Accept the Plan Commission recommendation, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance granting a special use permit for indoor entertainment to the property located at 14 Hickory Street, Unit 14B, within the H1 Historic District, to permit an art gallery with associated art classes and a rentable event space to be named Studio C, in accordance with the reviewed plans, public testimony, findings of fact, and subject to the following conditions. Number 1, the special use permit for indoor entertainment shall be applicable only for the Frankfort Arts Association Art Gallery and associated classroom space and for the Studio C private event space typically used for bridal and baby showers. Number 2, there shall be no performance art activities which involve musical instruments and/or theatrical performances. And number 3, hours of operation shall be from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days per week, with the exception that there shall be no private events, programs, or art classes held from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sundays between April 1st and October 31st each year. And that is all, Mayor Ogle.
Thank you, Trustee Farina. Next, we go to Trustee Borelli for another Plan Commission item.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the Stretch Lab Special Use Permit for Indoor Recreation, 21218 South LaGrange Road ordinance. The applicant, Tony Burns, franchisee for Stretch Lab, proposes to operate a health fitness facility at 21218 South LaGrange Road within the Frankfort Crossing Shopping Center near Jewel. To accommodate the business operation of Stretch Lab in the B2 Community Business District, the applicant requests the granting of a special use permit for indoor recreation. At the April 28th, 2022 public hearing on the project, the Plan Commission forwarded a unanimous recommendation to the Village Board to approve the special use request. The The motion before us this evening is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance granting a special use permit for indoor recreation to the property located at 21218 South LaGrange Road within the Frankfort Crossing Shopping Center to permit the operation of Stretch Lab, a health fitness facility, in accordance with the reviewed plans, public testimony, finding of fact, and subject to the applicant obtaining a business license.
Thank you, Trustee Borelli. Then we have a special item, and that will go back to Trustee Rossi for that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The release of certain closed session meeting minutes and destruction of verbatim recordings resolution. The Village Board has conducted a semi-annual review of closed session minutes pursuant to the Illinois Open Meetings Act 5 ILCS 121, etc., and finds that the minutes listed in Exhibit A or portions thereof are no longer required confidential treatment and should be made available for public inspection. In addition, the Open Meetings Act permits government bodies to destroy the verbatim recording of closed sessions not less than 18 months after the completion of the meeting recorded. The motion before us: adopt a resolution approving and releasing certain closed session meeting minutes and authorizing the destruction of audio-taped verbatim records of certain closed session meetings of the Village of Frankfort.
Thank you, Trustee Rossi. Those were the items on the consent agenda. Is there any discussion by any of the board members, including Trustee Petro? Okay. Hearing none, we will go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Trustee Rossi.
Yes.
Trustee Severia.
Yes.
Trustee Borelli.
Yes.
Trustee Farina.
Yes.
And Trustee Petro.
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries. Everything's good there. So, next item on here is the mayor's report. The annual Memorial Day ceremony will be held on Monday, May 30th at 10 a.m. in Brighter Green. This will be a live performance again, which had been virtual for, I believe, the last 2 years because of COVID. The Village of Frankfort, VFW Post 1493, the Chief Deputy State's Attorney, Ken Gray, and the Hickory Creek Middle School Band and Orchestra will come together to honor our servicemen and women at this ceremony. The Founders Center has been reserved in case of rain, so this will take place either way. The 2022 Cruise in Frankfort season begins on June 6th, Monday, and continues every Monday evening through September 26th from 5 p.m. through 8 p.m. in downtown Frankfort. And you can visit frankfortcarclub.com. It says .club, but it's actually .com for the Frankfort Car Club Cruise Night lineup schedule. They have different cars that are featured each one of those nights, specialties. And the first of 3 movies on the green is going to be scheduled for the Wednesday, June 8th. The feature film is The Secret Life of Pets, Part 2. The movie will begin at 8:30 p.m. or when dusk settles down, and it's in Brighter Green also. In case of bad weather, the movie will be shown on the Wednesday of the following week, June 15th. The Frankfort Arts Association will hold its annual Art on the Green event on Sunday, June 12th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. This also kind of takes place around the same time as the Farmers Market, so you can come out and enjoy both of them. The Fine Art exhibition will feature top artists from the surrounding areas in a variety of disciplines. Visit frankfortartsassociation.org for more information. And then one of our very popular events, especially for the young ones, is the annual Get Hooked on Frankfort Fishing Derby. And that'll be held on Saturday, June 18th at Prairie Park for the youngsters ages 3 through 12. Registration in advance is required, and information is available at the village website on the front page. That is all for the mayor's report tonight, and we will go to clerk for board comments.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. Just one thing tonight, as is customary for summer board meetings. The board dress code will change from business attire to business casual starting at our next meeting, which is Monday, June 6th. And that is all.
Thank you, clerk. Trustee Safaria. Trustee Farina.
No comments this evening.
Oh, okay. Trustee Petro, remotely.
No further comments, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Burley.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to thank Chief Chalepas for providing that email last week. There was kind of a compilation of positive feedback we've received for several incidents within the last few weeks, all positive. It means a lot. They're little things, but they go a long way. They make a big difference in a small town like ours. So thank you, Chief Schleppus, and thank you to the police for doing a wonderful job. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee Borelli. Trustee Rossi.
Just a reminder, if our citizens would like to look at our Frankfort Village website, there's a lot of exciting things going on in downtown Frankfort. Please feel free to look at that and stay up with it and ask questions as needed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Rossi. Now we go to our village administrator, Rob Pisha, for the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to remind residents that starting on May 31st, the railroad tracks will be closed at 116th Avenue near the school. Just wanted to let people know so they can find alternate ways. Unfortunately, that they had to close it the week just before school was supposed to let out, but that was on the schedule for CN, and they would not have been able to get to it if we tried to reschedule it. So it's very important to have the railroad tracks redone, but it will be completely closed, so you'll have to find another way to get from anywhere north of the subdivisions on 116th Avenue. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Rob. And now we go to our police chief for the police report.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. I do have a few things. The first is just a reminder that we have our first Coast with a Cop kickoff event. It's this Saturday, May 21st. It'll be from 1 to 2 p.m. at Indian Boundary Park. Participants can go through different safety stations, go through a skills course, receive safety information, and take a ride with Frankfort officers through Prairie Park. We ask that children in attendance wear a bicycle helmet, and we're looking forward to having a great time at that event. So spread the word and come on out if you have little bikers at home that would like to ride around with a police officer. It's going to be fun. In addition, our May Frankfort Police newsletter is on the village website. To speak to Trustee Rossi's plug for the website, it is on there right now and available. The newsletter lists current crime stats, crime prevention tips, and community events. So we invite people to check that out. And then lastly, we would like to remind residents to always lock your vehicle doors and to never leave key or key fobs inside of your car, even if you're going into a business, just for a moment, to make sure that you don't leave cars running and remove keys and valuables from plain sight. And that's all I have tonight, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Chief. Now to our attorney, George Mahoney.
Mayor, I have no report.
Thank you, George. We do have one item of other business. We're collecting information on 2 Smith Street proposals, and there was a financial component that we discussed, and so we set that date, the deadline for that to be by June 6th, to get that information as per requested. And that went out to the applicants. Is there any other business for the board?
Mayor Ogle?
Yes.
So June 6th, will that be a committee of the whole meeting to review that additional information, just an updated timeline?
The committee of the whole is actually on June 8th. June 6th is our village board meeting, so will be received prior to that date. That's our next meeting, the next earliest meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no other business, we'll go to public comment, and after public comment, we are going to go into executive session tonight. We'll be taking no action coming out of executive session, but is there anyone in the public who would like to make a comment before the board tonight? Okay. Hearing none, we are about to go into executive session to discuss litigation matters under Illinois Compiled Statutes 5 ILCS 120/2 C11. And can we get a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Trustee Savaria, a second by Trustee Farina. Is there any discussion on this? Okay, if not, we'll go to our clerk for the roll call.
Trustee Savaria?
We're here.
Trustee Farina?
Yes.
Trustee Borelli?
Yes.
Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
Trustee Petro?
Yes.
Okay. We are going into executive session now. When we come out, we will be taking no action other than adjournment of the board.